Okay, given a function f of x and a value of c is subjective to, okay? I'm not going to write any more yet, but I'll write it in a minute. Let's just see what this means. What do we mean by given a function f of x? Well, that means I got to tell you what the function f of x is. So, let f of x equal 1 over x. Okay? And let c be a number. Now, because of what I'm doing, I want to be careful how I get c, but I'm going to let c equal 2/3, 3/2, which is, of course, 1.5 in decimal form. Okay? Now, what do we want to do? Write the equation f of x equals c. Okay. Well, that's easy. Okay, let's see, we have the equation f of x equals c. F of x is 1 over x, and c is 1.5. So there's the equation. Now this is an easy equation to solve. We do that just using regular manipulations. But we're going to solve it now. We're going to solve it using a graph of f of x and estimates. We're not going to go do the algebra, we're going to use the graph and we're going to do estimates. Again, not really necessary for some of the functions. They're fairly easy to solve, but some aren't. Okay, so let's just do a graph. Okay, here's 1/2, here's 1, here's 2. Over here, not going to need this part of the graph, but we'll use it anyhow. And up here we've got 2. Of course, here we've got 1, and here we've got 1/2. So 1/2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1/2. And then similarly on the negative side, I'm not going to label these points, but we'll have a point out here, and here, and here. So we can sketch at least the extended basic function and make an estimate. Okay, so our equation is 1 over x equals 1.5. Okay, so the value of the function is your y value. Okay, so you want to find the x that makes your y value 1.5. Well, what you do is you say, okay, well, here's 1.5. Let's just come over here and come back down here, and we see, yeah, kind of lucked out because I'm kind of close. Okay, so we see that when f of x equals 1 over x has value 1.5, x is about, that's a little to the right of 1/2. X is about 0.6. Now actually if you solve this, you're going to find that x is actually a little between 0.6 and 0.7, but somewhat closer to 0.7. So our estimate isn't great, but it's not that bad either. Okay. Now, again, this is an equation you can easily solve. If it was f of x equal 2 to the x, and C equal to 3, you would have to rely either on a calculator, which we forbid at this point of the course, or on a graph that you can make. Now, you're not going to come up with really accurate values. We'll see how to do that later in the course. But here we've got -2, combined equal distance, get 2. Here we got 1. Here we got -1. Here we got 4, 2, 1, 3. And we subdivide this interval here to 1/2 and 1/4. Then we get a point here, point here, point here, a point here, and a point up here. So right there's our graph of f of x equals 2 to the x. Okay, so how do you find where, okay, the equation f of x equals c is 2 to the x equals 3. Okay, well, the y values in this graph are the values of the 2 to the x function. And the value of 2 to the x is supposed to be 3. Well, then the value is going to be here on the y-axis. And to find the value of x that makes this happen, here we have it. So this value here appears to be, I'm going to say it's 1.3, 1.5, I'm going to say it's 1.4. Okay, so here is 1.4, that's an estimate. So, my estimated value based on the graph is 1.4. Turns out that's not a great estimate. An actual value of x would be a little over 1.5. But it's not a terrible estimate. It's kind of within a tenth or so. It's a little more than a tenth off because the actual value is a little more than 1.5. But this is a crudely drawn graph. I wasn't all that careful with it. And if you're very careful, you can probably come up with better estimates than I can. So anyhow, there we have it. This is what we mean by objective 2.